Guys, how you doing? My name's Tommy, and this is the Gallery Backyard Barbecue. Guys, on today's show, I'm going to take you step by step on how to smoke the perfect baby back rib. Look, with the start of summer coming up again, summer of 21, over at my Master Build Facebook group, I've been reading a lot of posts lately on how to, basically how to smoke baby back ribs. A lot of different answers, 3-2-1, 2-2-1, no wrap, wrap, and so forth. So again, on today's show, man, I'm gonna break it down into simple terms, how to pick the baby back ribs, how to clean the baby back ribs. We're gonna put a simple rub on the baby back ribs, and we are gonna smoke the baby back ribs. So look, whether you have a pellet grill, the Master Build, or a Weber kettle, it's all the same, man. Just follow the temps that I'm going to lay out, the cleaning process, the rubs, and so forth, and you're going to get the same results. All right, guys, look, so in closing, just sit back, relax, grab your baby backs, and let's get smoking. All right, guys, look, so first up is choosing that perfect rack of baby back ribs. So first up, what I like to do here, whether it's a brisket, right, or ribs, I like to slit the top right there, create that pocket. You want to keep all those juices inside the packet. Have yourself a load up of paper towels ready so you can start patting those ribs down. So look, the first thing I look for when I'm at the market is that fat cap that runs across the top there. I want a nice fat plump rack of baby back ribs. So that's basically what I look for. And also this is the time where you'd want to just kind of cut off anything that's straggling, kind of hanging off the side. You could take them down a bone on each side or two bones on each side, kind of square them up. But hey, man, we are backyard pit masters, and for me, the more bones, the better. You got that right. So look here, when you remove that membrane, you could use a spoon tip, but you got to go from the middle. Stop going from the edges, from the ends. Everybody goes from the ends. Go from the middle. Go right above a bone, and 95% of the time, you'll get the whole thing off. Just kind of work it both sides. Over here. That's the trick. Oh, yeah. And look again, anything kind of hanging off there, just kind of trim it up. No big deal. We'll give that to Molly. The next up is the rub, right? K-I-S-S. Leave me a comment down below if you know what that means. Don't need no fancy rubs. We are going to go with a kosher salt, black pepper, and granulated garlic. That is it. That is all you need. Telling you, man, once you do ribs like this, man, no wrap, 4.5 to 5 hours, you will never go back to the 3-2-1, 2-2-1. Also, if you have a fancy rub that you like to use, by all means use it. For this video here, I'm just keeping it simple. All right, guys, look, so that's it. So 250 Fahrenheit on the pit. And hey, I got a temp gauge in there to make sure I am exactly 250. And I'm gonna take this about 4.5 hours. I'll do a little spritzing here and there with either regular tap water or a little apple juice, either or. And we will take this, like I said, about 4.5 hours. We will check them along the way. And then we will mop them out with a sauce the last 15 or 20 minutes or so. And then it is rib heaven. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And look, guys, always remember when you place your ribs in the pit, you want to kind of scrunch them together, right? You don't want to place them in where they're like a quarter moon. Scrunch them together, a nice straight rack, and away you go. So look, one of the mistakes some backyard pit masters make is they start putting that spritz on too soon. You want to make sure the rub is set. In other words, it shouldn't come off on your fingers. If you get rub on the fingers there, it's moist already, so it's not even set yet. So don't be in a rush to spritz. We are looking good. We are moving right along, and I will spritz it on the 3 and 4 hour also, and we'll take this right into the 5 hour mark. Oh yeah. All right, guys, look, we are approaching 5 hours. I started really keeping an eye on it. When you do a no wrap rib, no wrap baby back at 250 Fahrenheit, usually at about that 4 hour mark, you want to start watching the ribs, right? Now, look, in the beginning, we knew, because we saw these were a plump rib, so I knew it was going to take us up into that 5 hour mark, which is fine. I'm going to go over to the ribs. I'm going to put a probe in it, and I'm going to show you basically what to look for so you know when your ribs are ready to sauce up. So come on in. So you want to get a probe. You want to get a temp reading in between the bones. Just be careful you don't hit the bones. Basically, you're looking for anywhere between that 195 to 200 range, 202. Remember, you're still rendering the fat down just as you would on a brisket or pork. So at that render, the magic number is that 195, 200 range. So that's where you're looking to be. All right, so look, I took a couple readings and we are right at that 195 range. Now over on the end here, obviously it's not there because that's a big old plump of meat, which I usually maybe would trim off. But on this rack, I just left it there. Hey man, I'm just a backyard cook. So hey, more meat on the pit is more meat for me. All right, so look, like I said, 195, that's where we're hitting. I'm gonna get a little sauce on her, leave her go for about another 15 minutes. She'll get up into that 200 range, and then we'll get them on the board. And again, remember, when you probe it, you want that toothpick tender. You want that probe to go in like you're going through warm butter. Once you're going in through warm butter, you're gonna be in that 195 to 200 range, and that is when it's time to sauce. Oh, yeah. So look, for neatness, what I'm going to do is just get some foil under the ribs. I'm going to choose my favorite sauce honey combo. Obviously, you choose your favorite sauce. Go to town. Now look, I know a lot of people don't like honey. I'm a big honey fan when it comes to pork or some ribs, so I'll hit it with some honey first, and then I'll brush it with my favorite sauce. There you go. I mean, look, it couldn't get much simpler than this. All right, guys, look, of note, for the last 15 minutes after you apply your sauce, I jack up the temp to 275, just help that want that sauce to set up nice, a little sticky and stuff. So I jack it up 275. I never go longer than 15 minutes. Total cook time on these bad boys, 5 hours and 15 minutes. I'm gonna get them off. I'm gonna get them on the board to rest, and then we'll go from there. Look, another little tip for you guys: when you pick up your ribs from the pit, they should have a slight bend to it, right? You don't want them to bend where they're gonna break and rip, because then they're overcooked, and you don't want a stiff rack because they're undercooked, okay? So you want just a little bend, yeah. Oh man, those look good. Yeah, perfect bend, yeah. And that's basically a nice little bend that you would want. Now, if these were overcooked, with me holding my fingers in the center like that, you might get a little ripping here, okay? So now if I grab it on the end here, the weight of it's probably just gonna tear it. So you just want a nice little bend like this, and you know that they're finished nicely. Look, I'm gonna let these sit up for maybe 10, 15 minutes. We'll give a little slice and we'll give a little peek. Oh, yeah. All right, guys, look, so that is it. Start to finish. Forget 3, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, wrap, no wrap, when to sauce, throw them in the air, do cartwheels, spin around. Forget all that stuff. No wrap ribs, 250 Fahrenheit, usually about 5 hours, and you're done. But this is just by looking at it, man, this is just a pretty perfect rack of ribs. And again, it doesn't matter if you have a Pit Boss, a Z Grill, Kingsford, Masterbuilt, Weber kettle, doesn't matter, pellet, fuel, none of that matters. 250 Fahrenheit, no wrap, approximately 5 hours. Just follow the timeline. You know how to check them when they're done. Also, probe them. Toothpick tender, the whole jazz, man. It's all in here, and this is the best way for you to do baby back ribs. Now the hardest part is cutting the baby back ribs, right? Because you got the slanted bones. It's a real pain in the ass. Oh, yeah. And of course, oh yeah, this will cut like through like butter. Look at that meat. And that is it for that, man. You know, we know the moisture is in there. We knew this rack was thick like this with that that meat on there, man. This is dinner tonight. I got some orzo happening with this, man. I'm just gonna take a little bite. These are not gonna be fall off the bone. You don't really want fall off the bone. I know some people like fall off the bone, but hey, man, if you were in a comp, this is the way you wanna cook them. Oh, cheers. Wow. I mean, look, the first thing you do is you get that hit of salt, man. That is right there. We simple rub, man. Salt, pepper, and garlic, and it's all right there. You don't need those fancy rubs. I mean, hey, they're good to have, but you don't need them. You can go brown sugar, not go brown sugar. If you want something basic, man, this is the recipe for you. All right, guys, look, that is it for this one. I'm going to roll my Patreons and YouTube join members if that's something you're interested in. Check out the information down below. Don't forget our Sunday night chats, giveaways. I got a couple high-tech thermometers coming up, something you want to get in on. Till next time, we will see you soon. Oh, yeah.